Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of Valpo Baseball Weekly. It's brought to you by Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute. Brandon Vickery with you. Glad to be joined by the head coach of the Valpo Baseball program, Brian Schmack. And as we look back at this weekend's series against Missouri State, just in general, as you think about the series and look back, what stands out in your mind?
I thought we played actually really well game one, and it's the most lopsided score. I thought we hit the ball really well. I thought our approach was good. We hit a lot of balls right at guys. They took advantage of the elements a little bit better than we did. And that's not to say they tried to do that. It's just they hit some balls that went out that probably wouldn't have on other days. And sometimes those can be demoralizing. And I think that maybe set the tone for the weekend, and we just couldn't handle that. So. I think if we play kind of straight up, maybe a little bit better. I think the weekend turns out to be a little bit better. Maybe we take a game, who knows? But I just think we have a different feel about the weekend. If the elements are a little bit different. So, hate to use that as an excuse, but I mean, obviously, if you were there, you kind of saw what happened, and it's a difficult one. But oh well, we both had to play in it, so.
I wanted to ask you about the elements, and certainly you pitched in a lot of games in your playing career. What's it like to pitch in a game like that with the wind blowing out, and the wind is such a big factor?
Yeah, it's a tough one because I think sometimes, your ball has a little bit more action on it, so I think it can help you if you're that type of guy. Sometimes the hitters get big in those situations, which can help you as a pitcher. But, I think mentally you have to be able to withstand the effect that there's going to be balls that are outs that are going to blow out, that are not going to work out your way. And can you handle that? Can you just accept it? That, hey, I made a good pitch and it didn't work out and move on. I think that's the hardest part. And sometimes for young teams, that's difficult, and they all start to snowball. And like I said, after a while, it gets a little bit demoralizing. Even in the dugout for us, we're thinking, man, here we go again, or man, not another one. And it just starts to change the complexion of the game. So it can be tough. It can be tough. They're not fun to play in for sure.
You mentioned your offense. I wanted to ask you about the difference between when things are going well and things aren't going well. What stands out to you maybe when things are going well at the plate as a team versus some of the games where you haven't produced as much offensively?
Yeah, you've heard the line, hitting is contagious, and I truly believe that. I think guys start to feel good about it, and it starts to snowball. And when you're not doing that, I think guys press a little bit, and somebody wants to get the big hit. We didn't get that this weekend. We had opportunities, especially game one, but we just couldn't get the big hit. And not that we struck out or didn't put it in play, but just that, we put it right at guys and they just didn't seem to fall. So, I think when, like I said, I think especially younger teams try to press and they try to do too much, and everyone tries to make up for it in one swing when you just have to, worry about your at bat and try to, let that snowball with the rest of the guys.
Let's talk about the league as a whole. I mean, you knew coming into this weekend, Missouri State was probably better than their league record would indicate. Now, a lot of parity across the league. What do you make of kind of the parity and the depth of the Missouri Valley Conference this season?
Yeah, looking at it, I knew it was going to be a really tough league, and as difficult as the first few weeks have been, it's Southern, who just beat DBU, then DBU, and then Evansville. Obviously he's playing incredibly well. Bradley, who has beaten DBU twice, so it's like there's no reprieve, and we know this is an extremely tough league, and it's our challenge. I mean, it's our challenge is to try to get better in this league, and it's good for us because, like I said, when you play good teams, you really find out where you're deficient, and it gives us opportunities to battle and learn about ourselves. So we just have to keep that in mind and not look at the overall record, I think, sometimes. And but it is difficult to do. So it's a tough league, but we're in it, and we've got to make those adjustments.
Southern Illinois is one of those teams tied atop the league at 6-3. What are their strengths? What stands out to you about their program as you get set to head to SIU this weekend?
Yeah, they've done a really good job of recruiting, I think, and we haven't played them too often. Obviously, in the last couple of years, though, they seem to have older guys, and if you look at the landscape of college baseball and probably college athletics in general, it's old wins, and we've mentioned this before, and they've got a lot of transfers and they've got a lot of junior college kids, and they're older, experienced players, and that's something we have to look at, and again, we'll get there. We have younger guys and they'll get older, which helps, but in the time being, we're having to play those games. So they've done a really good job of that, and they're playing very well. They've played well since Lance took over, and it's going to be a battle.
There he is, the head coach of the Valpo baseball program, Brian Schmack. Midweek game on Tuesday at Purdue, and a 3-game weekend series starts on Friday at Southern Illinois. For all the latest in Valpo athletics, you can follow us on social media or visit valpoathletics.com. This is Valpo Baseball Weekly, and it's brought to you by Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute.